Hi, my name's Steve Munkley and I'm the ambassador for the Grande Cuisine training platform. Today's training session is going to be about how to fillet mackerel. In front of me here I have three really nice looking fish, really fresh. You can see by the bloom still on the fish, there's a little bit of slime, that they're lovely and fresh fish. They have come with guts in, which is not unusual for mackerel because they keeps them fresher that way. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the heads and remove the guts. Okay, so literally getting under that fin, coming round the head, that side, under that fin, round the head that side, and then I'm going to cut it off. Okay, so that's the first one. Let me do all three first. Remember what I said so we don't waste any of the fish. Round the head there. Round the head there, down, and then cut it off. So that's number 2, and we're on to number 3. Again, round the head, and then cut it off. Okay, so now we go to the back of the fish. No other word for it, that's their backside, their arse. So you take your knife, you cut down to that point, ready to take the innards out. So we're going to cut down to that point from the inside, cut down to that point to the inside. Now I'm going to open it up and all that innards from the fish, remove it into a bowl like so, and then we'll wash the fish in just a second. So same with all three of them. Getting rid of the innards, like so. Like so. Okay. Moving that out the way. Let me just wipe the board down and my knife. So once we've washed them, we don't get them dirty again. So we're just clearing all that stuff from the inside of the fillet. If you're doing large amounts of these, you do them in the sink over the tap. Just going to put them down there to dry off. Again, making sure that everything is out of the way, like so. Everything is out of the way, like so. As I say, with all chefs, we all have our own ways of doing things. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways to fillet this, and then one way to remove the central bone out of the fish without cutting it off. So let's start by the filleting. So just to dry off the fish, okay, nicely. Locate the center of the bone here. Get your knife just on top of that central bone. Come all the way along, all the way down to the end, and we've removed one fillet. Flip it over. Do the same thing the other side, keeping the fillet up as much as possible. And there we have the second fillet removed. Remember, bones for stock. The second way of doing it is as you would fillet any round fish, and that's going down the backbone from the top, nice sweeping motion down like that, and then right through, over and across. Turn the fish over and go from the other side of the dorsal bone, dorsal fin, all the way down, moving your knife all the way down. Neither way is right, neither way is wrong. Okay? It's just the way you prefer or the way that you feel more comfortable with. Okay, I'm going to leave the third fish there for a second because I'm going to show you how to clean up these fillets. Unless you're going to be poaching the mackerel, you generally leave the skin on. You don't remove the skin. Okay, with these first ones, we've still got a lot of belly bones that are connected to it. In a lot of cases, you can just pull them free, okay, and then just trim your fillet round like so. We still have all the bones down the middle, and I'll show you in a second how to remove them. But let's do all the fillets first. So remove the belly bones, remove any little bit of skirt that is there. So that's 2. So with this one, we haven't got the belly bones because we took them off when we took the fillet down. So I'm only removing the skirt. I'm still checking just in case I've missed any. So we now have our 4 fillets ready. They still have, if you feel down here, lots of bones down the middle. And that's one thing about mackerel, is they are extremely bony fish. So let's just take a look now how we're going to get rid of them bones. We have probably 3 traditional methods. Tweezers, which you grab the bone with the tweezer, you pull it out and you wash it. I'm not such a lover of tweezers. The old-fashioned way was one of these peelers where you hook the bones with the tweezer and you pull. But again, it's not one of my favourite ways. I prefer to use a pair of bullnose pliers where I can really get hold of it and pull. They do become quite tricky, as you can see there. Use a little tub of water and then you can wash them off straight away. We're always pulling, the fish runs forward, we're always pulling the bones towards the front like so, and you don't damage the flesh quite so much. It's quite a long job, quite a boring job, to be honest with you, but there's nothing worse than getting a fish bone stuck in your throat. Okay, so I'm feeling all the time with my finger to make sure that I'm happy that they're all out. I missed a couple up here because they were a bit tighter. Having the water there really helps you, otherwise you get fish bones all over the table. Okay, so there's our first one done. Here's our second one. Just working on this. First ones at the top are always a little bit tougher. They get easier as you go down the fillet. Don't rake the fillet up too much, because that damages it and it comes apart slightly. Okay, so really just getting in there, getting them bones out. Like so, till I feel that the fillet is nice and clean. Okay, right, now to show you another way, the V cut. Okay, so a lot of chefs won't have the time to do the boning, so what they do is they do what's called a V cut. So they go in with a very sharp knife, they go down where the bones are gonna be, and they literally cut them out. But with this method, you do take a bit of flesh with you. So you accept that you're going to lose a bit of flesh, but you certainly, as you can see, there's no bones left in there. And that's called the V cut. Let's do this one again. So going down either side of these bones, they're right down the center. They're nowhere else. Right down the center, and take them out. And fishmongers nowadays tend to prefer this because, again, it's a very fast method of removing the bones. Okay, so that's the 2 different ways of using it. As you can see, the fish must have been slightly different size because the fillets are slightly different in size. Now I'm going to show you how to remove the bone and keep the two fillets together. Okay, so we've cleaned it out, we've got it to the stage we wanted. Taking a pair of scissors, I'm just going to remove a little bit of the belly because I don't want it too wide, like so. You can see the belly bones here. I'm just going to release as many of them as I can from the body, taking them up like so. Now, using my knife, I'm going to open up the back just down to the end. Okay, both sides of that backbone, down there, down the other side, and then moving round, I'm going to get under these belly bones and start to release the bone from the fish. Now, if this fish is lovely and fresh, in a minute I'm going to be able to just pull this middle bone out. If the fish is not so fresh, it normally rips all the flesh of the actual fish itself. So again, what we're hoping to do here is we're going to have a double fillet, which we can then stuff and cook whole, or we can spatchcock out and cook on a grill with a couple of skewers in it. So as you can see, I get my fingers underneath, I'm gently just pulling the backbone away from the flesh. So it's worked its way up there. I'm coming down a little bit further now, coming down the other side a little bit further now. So you can see, lifting, 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 lifting with my scissors. Just going to cut that bone out. Okay, put that there for a second while I just clear down. So, same principle. I'm just going to tidy up a little bit, any loose bits and pieces. We got rid of the belly bones, but we still have the bones down there in. So I'm going to stay with the let's pull it out method. But again, with this one, you could do the V cut if you wanted to. Quite a few of these bones have come out when I've taken the dorsal out. Using a tub of water here, it washes the bones off of the pair of pliers so that I know exactly what I'm grabbing hold of. Okay. Oh, there's a couple more up there. As I say, the choice is yours between the V cut and so now we can either stuff this with a mousse and roll it and fold it. We can put some long skewers through it and that can go on the grill, or we can pan fry it. Okay. One thing I did forget to do was just to nip off these fins on the back. We don't really want them on there. We'll remove them and maybe just trim the tail so it's not quite so big. Okay, so there we have it. We've got the two fillets which we took the bones out of with the tweezers, and we got the two fillets that we did the V cut from. So there it is, your mackerel preparation filleting.